In order to look toward the future, you must be grounded in your past. As such, one of the first things we did as a group during the economic strategic planning session was look at the history of the Nisga'a economy. While our timeline began tens of thousands of years ago, we chose to look at some of the significant events that have taken place since the 1600s, when the Hudson's Bay Company noted 400 canoes headed for Fishery Bay. We discussed the milestones that have been important to the Nisga'a economy, such as the rise in forestry and silviculture in the 1980s, including the launch of Twin River Timber in 1984. The 1990s saw the rise of many industries, including a pine mushroom boom, small logging companies, and Nisga'a fisheries. One of the biggest events in the history of the Nisga'a Nation was the Nisga'a Final Agreement, which came into effect on May the 11th, 2000. This is followed by the creation of the commercial Nisga'a fisheries a few months later. Many other significant events have occurred since then. The road to Gilgholt was completed in 2002, providing road access between all four Nisga'a villages. The Nisga'a Commercial Group and Nisga'a Pacific Ventures were formed. One of the significant insights we had while discussing the history of Nisga'a economic development was the presence of a number of very distinctive phases of economic development since 1980. The first phase, beginning in the early 1970s to 1990, was defined by massive deforestation and resource depletion. This was a phase of learning and growth. The second phase, roughly spanning 1990 to 2000, was marked by excitement for a hard-won fight for the Nisga'a Final Agreement and the development of legal structures required to transition from the Indian Act to self-governance. With the final agreement in place post-2000, economic development has been defined by a lack of communication, the purchase of infrastructure, the growth of tourism, and an optimistic recession. The final agreement provides many opportunities, and it is up to us to implement them using Nisga'a values as the foundation. This is really the essence of the work that needs to be done under Nisga'a Economic Prosperity Strategic Plan. A key insight was developed throughout our discussion. We cannot accomplish very much without building our human capacity to fully realize the opportunities and certainty our treaty holds. The visual of the timeline along the Nass River really captures the essence of where we've been and where we're going. We have been leaders in modern nation building and are examples of treaty negotiations that other nations strive to learn from. We have a long, full history of managing our lands, and the visual in this section captures the richness of this history, while also suggesting the direction we need to take in the future.